4 games against
option opponents.
Veer-oriented teams. I mean, obviously Air Force and Furman's a little bit different than Georgia Southern Paul Johnson strain, but kind of the same idea. What benefits and challenges does that present to play them all so close together?
Well, I mean, I guess, benefits are you get a lot of practice on cut blocks, and it's not a foreign thing to you. You get more practice time against that. The bad part of it is the other teams get to see you play, because most of the time when you play an option team, they don't really have a lot of tape to study you on. As far as how you might defend certain things. So it's good and bad.
Coach, you said last week that the quarterback competition wasn't as clear-cut as it was last year. How close exactly are Kelly and Trevor right now, and could you see this competition going game by game well into the season?
Yeah, and that's I haven't had a chance to talk to y'all yet, but that's exactly where we are. Last year it really wasn't close. It was very different. First of all, Kelly's trying to win the job. Everybody's trying to win the job, and it went. It wasn't close. It's very clear cut, and that's where we were. This year's different in that now you got a proven guy, a guy who started for 14 games for you. He's won a conference championship in his first year as a starter, and people get better. People improve, and that's I don't care where you start, guys improve, and that's what's happened with Kelly. He's had a tremendous year of prep since January, and I've had a front row seat and no idea how it was going to play out. Obviously, you bring a guy in here like Trevor Lawrence, who is really off the charts from a talent standpoint, but you don't ever know until you start coaching a guy how's that going to translate. Guys can be really, really talented in high school, but sometimes it takes a little longer to translate to this level. There's a lot going on, and but he demonstrated this spring that he's one of those unique guys that he has this unique talent, but he also demonstrated that, man, he was absorbing it very well, and he wasn't overwhelmed, but still made a lot of mistakes. I mean, it's just a lot, and Kelly was the clear winner in spring as far as, okay, well, he's the starter. But it was also pretty obvious that, man, you got a guy right here that is, we think he's going to get better. And that's kind of how we went into camp, and that's what we saw. But I'll tell you, I'm really, really proud of Kelly because, man, you got to have thick skin when you play quarterback. And you got so many people with their opinions and agendas, and they don't watch practice. They don't watch one tape. Even when they do, they don't know what they're watching. They don't know what the people are being asked to do. They don't know who's right and who's wrong, and so I've just been really proud of him because how he's handled it. It's been really a breath of fresh air because he's just been locked in on himself. He's had an awesome camp, 3 scrimmages. I think he was 23 of 32, 300-something yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and just did a tremendous job. Played with both groups. Didn't always get first-team reps. Those reps were split all camp, and so he just came out on top from a grade standpoint. And that's at some point you gotta go play, and so that's where we are. The flip side of that is Trevor did exactly what we thought he would do, and man, he came back more in control of what was going on, a better knowledge base, and as he should. He'd already been through installation, and really, and physically, he's a very gifted guy. I mean, he's 6'6", 216 pounds, but just mentally in a really good place, and the game has slowed down for him. He's demonstrated a really good command, and he had a great camp. But Kelly was the most consistent, and that's just where we are. So Kelly's earned the opportunity to go start because somebody's got to run out there first. He's earned the opportunity to do that, and nobody's giving him anything. He's earned it, but Trevor has earned the opportunity to play and to continue to compete. So that's where we are, and I'm excited about it. like the best case scenario is they both play well. I mean, and it's really sad that some people, may pull for somebody not to play well or somebody, they're Clemson Tigers. And we should pull for these guys to play great. That's the way it should be. Go play well. And the best thing is they're really in control of that, and they're both very prepared to do just that. And if they'll just do what they've done in camp, which has been awesome to see. I've never had a camp with this type of quarterback play. All right, and I'm not just talking about Kelly and Trevor. I'm talking about Chase Bryce too. Man, this kid he's right there. And so it's just such a good situation. It's a very healthy situation, and this is where we are. And man, I'm pulling. I want them to, when they run out there, they're Tigers. We're going to play more than one running back. I want them all to play well. We're going to play a lot more than 4 D linemen, and I want them all to play well. We're going to play a lot more than 5 offensive linemen. We got 8, 9, 10 receivers that deserve to play, that'll have opportunities to play. I want them to play well. So that's the quarterback that's just where we are this year. We've got really talented guys that have earned the opportunity to play, and man, we should pull for them to play well. And so it's exciting. You got a guy that's proven, and I cannot say enough about Kelly in this day and age. Just how he's handled himself, his character, his selflessness. He's just locked in on. He pulls for Trevor. And same thing with Trevor. Trevor is one of the most low-maintenance dudes you'll ever meet. I know he looks like Hollywood and all that, but he ain't none of that. He's just show up, do your job, yes or no, sir. Loves his teammates, kind of a guy, and Chase is the same way. And so it's just awesome. And, they're in control of their performance. When we grade these guys, I'm not worried about if a receiver drops the ball or the left tackle misses a block. We're grading them on their knowledge, on their execution, on their performance. And so that's where we are, and if something changes, well, we'll all see it, because it's not like practice. Y'all get to watch the games, and so everybody will have a front row seat to see it. And so Kelly doesn't have a 12-game contract to be the starter, and Trevor doesn't have a 12-game contract to continue to deserve to play. Don't worry about who starts. When you play well. And that's what I tell everybody at every position. You're not entitled to play. It doesn't work that way. I don't have a lifetime contract. I mean, I got to prove that I should be the head coach. I have to earn that every year. I have to earn that every week. That's just the way it is. And so that's life. But these guys all understand that. They embrace that. And let's go to work. It's going to be fun.
You've been waving the Chase Bryce flag, as you told us the other day, and he's third string. You said he's right there. Everybody's focused on Kelly and Trevor. How are you going to get Chase snaps as far as dividing it up? Is it going to be thirds, or what's your plan to get him in the game?
Well, we will have a plan for the first 2, because that's where we are, just like we do with our first 2 deep at all the positions. And then there's a lot of positions that we have a third guy, and in some cases a fourth guy. That's pretty good. We'll make sure that we track that. We have a lot of staff that we track, that we'll use to track, reps and touches and all that type of stuff to give people opportunities. But we definitely want to get Chase, as much experience as we can this year as well, because he's earned that. But he's going to be a great player here, and he's one of those guys that I think is like I said, somebody's got to go somewhere. But don't say, okay, he's third team. Well, he must not be a very good player. Boy, that's a bad assumption. He's a very, very good player. Feaster's right now third team. He's pretty good. It's a good situation.
Speaking of Feaster, how do you sort of expect him to respond? Coach Elliott was saying that Adam Choice was just a little more consistent.
Yeah, well, Feaster missed a good bit of camp to start out. Had a little scope on his knee, and so that kind of set him back. Had an awesome summer, and just go play well. They're going to all play, so go to work. We as I told y'all at the very beginning when we kicked it off, My pick this year, I think our running backs have a chance to be special as a group. I really do.
Yeah, but Cornell had to deal last year with Mari coming in, competing with him. Then in the spring, you had to deal with Kendrick coming in and competing with him. What kind of camp do you think Cornell had overall, and how did he respond to?
Yeah, good. I mean, you know, that's just the nature of it. I mean, we're going to recruit the best players every year, and so when you're a sophomore, you're going to deal with freshmen that come in here. When you're a junior, you're going to deal with freshmen and sophomores that develop. You're going to be a senior. It's just the way it is, and the best player's going to play. You know, that's just the way we do things. So Amari won the job, and he's a sophomore, and Cornell's a junior, but that means Amari's going to run out there first. But Cornell had a really good camp. He really did. We're going to start him at kick returner. We're kind of I thought he did a nice job with his opportunities in camp. And so, you know, I don't think he was really quite ready for the show. And so he's going to get another opportunity to see. He was special in high school. See if he's ready to kind of, you know, take that job. And so, you know, it's all about performance at this point. I mean, you know, we've everything right now is set based on performance in camp. Everything moving forward will be set on performance as we move through. So it's kind of a clean slate at this point. And so I'm excited about Cornell. I think he's poised to have a really good year for us. And it's the same thing. We don't just play, you know, 3 receivers. I mean, I think we've led the nation in snaps, I don't know, 2 or 3 years in a row. So we got to have a lot of depth, and he's a guy that I'm fully confident